Zen Ray here. Welcome, Nick Nation, my band of brothers. We will be on with Juby, the 2B family above everything. He's running a few minutes behind, but we have some things to talk about. I am just fed up with these rumors, Nick Nation. I'm lighting up like that flag behind me on fire. So let me just first go over and just put this up, and then we'll be back in a few minutes with Juby, the 2B family above everything. These rumors are insane. This is what I feel a lot of the times.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, no one wants to hear that BS. But before we leave, just check this out. These rumors, and Alan Hahn just puts this in perspective, Nick Nation. A lot of rumors. We'll go over that in a few with Juby Tubi family above everything. We'll come back and we kind of revisit that. And we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, and Jalen Brunson will go over his announcement as the new Knick here, and also the bad in Westbrook when coming here to town. Is he going to play, or are we going to dismiss those $46 million for Randall? And Obi is staying, ladies and gentlemen. Obi is staying, and I'll tell you the reason why he's staying. He is not leaving New York. Those rumors are BS. So we'll be back in a few. Welcome back, Nick Nation, my band of brothers. I appreciate you guys. And if this is your first time here, give a thumbs up, subscribe. It's free. It's totally free. We're not charging for the subscription at all. This is Nick Nation. You deserve the best here from Zen Ray Sports TV. And don't forget to comment. Give us your opinions as well, Nick Nation. So let me just say this much. This is my viewpoint. Okay, Obi Toppin will not be traded. Rumors are causing a stir among Knick Nation. Donovan Mitchell will come to New York in due time on Leon Rose's terms. The chess game continues. And this is what I'm feeling. Alan Hahn put out a tweet yesterday. A lot of rumors are swirling today.
Kid,
that was yesterday.
I get
and
the
basically,
feeling that
Jonathan and Mark let me just go back on this again.
The feeling that he's ready to come home.
He's going to come home. Yes, he's going to come home. I had a little technical difficulties, but let's do this again. A lot of rumors are swirling today, and that was yesterday's tweet by Alan Hahn amid Donovan Mitchell's tweeting, "Man, God is good" this morning. I heard he was at a basketball camp in White Plains. There's nothing more than just rumors and speculations right now. Brian Windhorst this morning on ESPN said that what he knows, it's likely going to take a while. And why it's going to take a while? This is a radio station.
He's a good kid, but
guys,
I get the feeling that he's ready to move on. I get the feeling that he's ready to come home.
Yes, he's ready to come home, but under Leon Rose's terms. And when I hear these rumors about Obi topping, leaving New York, Nick Nation, it's ridiculous. And I get this frustration. I get the Zen going just to stop me, but I feel like the IP man. That's for the rumor. Obi is staying. Down. Nick Nation, Obi Toppin is staying in New York. No more ridiculous rumors. Obi is staying in New York. I felt like the IP man. New York City came out of me back in the day, hearing these rumors and falling for the trap that Obi Toppin is leaving. Nick Nation, give me your opinion, man. Give me your opinion. It's fool's gold if you think that Obi is going to be traded in this package. Leon Rose plays chess. He doesn't play checkers. He sometimes plays a little Chinese checkers in the draft. Obi Toppin is staying. I can see a Quickly going to deal or Grimes. But if I had to take a choice who's going, it's probably a Quickly. But give me your opinion, Knicks Nation. Give me your opinion. Who is leaving New York in this trade? Is Leon Rose just going to walk away if they continue this Obi talk? Knicks Nation, give me your opinion. My band of brothers. Let's see. We got a couple of comments. We'll be on with Juby the Tubi in a few. Big Task, Zen Ray, salute to you, Big Task. At hand. Thank you, Big Task. Appreciate you, brother. Carlos, yes, Obi is staying. Obi is staying. Bodega Wi-Fi, my Rican brother. Salutes to you, my friend, and your family, man. Carlos, how you know all this? I'm curious. Well, I was zenning out last night, Carlos, and something just hit me. Why would Leon Rose deal his first pick and Obi Toppin? It makes no sense, Knicks Nation. It makes no sense. I'm not a betting man, but I can almost bet you Obi's not going nowhere. And I'll tell you a reason why. I'm going to put a little video of Jalen Brunson announcement. And in the video, there was Obi Toppin. Why would they make a video of Jalen Brunson passing the ball to Obi Toppin if he's leaving New York? Knicks Nation, brace yourself. Obi is staying in town. Mark my word. Thank you, Carlos. Johnny Davis, what's up? What's up with you, Johnny Davis? Johnny Davis, man, we have a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate you, brother. Obi is not going nowhere. These speculations, these false rumors. Hey, our past president said it best. Fake news. Fake news. Take it as you may, Knicks Nation. It's coming from Zen Ray. Obi Toppin is staying in New York. Thank you, Johnny Davis. Prezi the boss, my man. Salutes to you, Prezi. Haven't seen you in a while. Knicks Nation, let me tell you, Prezi the boss was one of my first subscribers. He is probably more knowledgeable in Knicks basketball than anybody else. So if you get a chance and you have a conversation with Prezi the boss, intelligent man when it comes to basketball, period. Prezi, salutes to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Johnny Davis, yes, Leon Rose is not laughing. And hopefully Leon Rose will have the last laugh. Thank you, Johnny. I hope not. Nah, G-Man. Welcome, G-Man. Obi's not going nowhere. Obi is not going nowhere. We'll be joined by Juby the Tubi. We're going to have a little debate. I think Juby's still stuck on this Obi coming to New York. He'll be joining us in a few. I think I see him here. The debate will start soon. There he is. Juby the Tubi, family above everything. Welcome, my friend. I'm glad you could make it because I know you were doing a few things with the family. I appreciate you, brother. Listen, I said it best here, man. I said it best. Obi Toppin is not going nowhere, Juby. This is what I felt last night. This is what I felt. I felt like the IB man because all the discussions we were having last night, Juby, I was hitting my bag like this. This is the media. This is the Knick haters. This is the beatdown they're gonna get. OB. There you go. Juby, you continue this OB talk. IP man is coming to town. Through your front door. The beatdown begins. Who's next? Who's next? Juby, welcome, sir.
How you guys doing tonight? I love it, man. I love it. Listen, I hope you guys are right, man. I hope Obi's not included in that trade. Listen, you guys know I'm an Obi Toppin fan. since day one, man. I was happy as hell with him. I wanted him to get playing time. I wanted him to start. I want him to start. I want him to be our starting power forward. But I also want Donovan Mitchell, guys.
Okay, and G-Man agrees with you. So get that boy Mitch. We're gonna get him, Juby. G-Man, we're gonna get him. But we're not gonna give Obi Toppin a deal. You have your choice of probably Quickly and Grimes, but Obi Toppin is not leaving. And I'm gonna show you. I first want to congratulate Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen, because I think we passed that already. But I want you to hear this for the next 90 seconds, and you're gonna see the ball being passed to Obi Toppin. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen.
You see hits. Why'd you pick the Knicks?
I've known them for a long time. It's family. It's a comfort level to this, and something that I just couldn't turn a blind eye to. I knew that these guys have my best interest at heart, and they've known me since, I think Leon probably saw me before my dad did. So, I mean, it's just one big family for me, and I'm just super excited.
Jalen Brunson from Villanova University.
Let's go.
I think if people at a young age see a guy who may not be the tallest, strongest, the fastest, but a guy who can whatever he's doing.
Look who they passed the ball. Watch carefully, Nick Nation.
Jalen Brunson is mature and he is a winner and an excellent point guard. He'll go right up, catch up with the reverse. Brunson lobs it up to Robinson. Alley-oop finish. Brunson ahead of Stein. He burrows in deep. Brunson on a run. Why not? Beautiful pass.
Obi! Obi!
Jalen Brunson in the open courts. Hezzy. Brunson. Beautiful fake.
Look at the handles. Look at the heart, baby. Let's go.
I want to say I'm super excited to be a Knick. Can't wait to get started. It's about the little things for me. People see, the stats and all that stuff, but the things that matter to me the most is just how the little things, like putting my body in line for my teammates, diving on the ground, and being that person who just everyone can turn to, saying that guy is going to just do everything he can to help this team win the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, if that doesn't fire you up, who did he pass the ball to? Mitch?
Listen, there's
Obi Toppin.
There's a reason.
Your opinion. Johnny Davis agrees. I like Obi. We love Obi.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't get this animated, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't meditate this morning, so you're going to get the streets of Zenray today. You're going to get it. I didn't meditate at all thinking about this all last night, and I didn't sleep on this because, Juby, I was being convinced that Obi was on this trade. I was being convinced, and I said, hey, Juby, give me your opinion.
Listen, like I said, guys, I hope you see who I got behind me. I got Donovan Mitchell, and I got Russell Westbrook. Do I really want Russell Westbrook wearing these colors? No. But I know that if Russell Westbrook are wearing these colors, it's because we traded Julius to Los Angeles, and Obi Toppin is our starting power forward. That's what I want to light. I want Donovan Mitchell. I want Obi Toppin. I want Mitchell Robinson, R.J. Barrett, Donovan, and Brunson. That's my lineup. That's the lineup that I think is going to kill a lot of people in the NBA. That fast-paced ball, that thick skin, like I like to say, gritty ball. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are right. I mean, listen, we were going by rumors and speculation leaked by Utah Jazz Radio. Maybe they just wanted to get some viewership, some listeners from across the states, and they just wanted to make some noise on social media. And salute to them because they did. They had New York in a panic yesterday. Everybody was glued to their phones. I have people who are friends of mine who told me they almost got fired because they were glued to their phone and their boss was telling them to get off their phone and they just could not stay off of Twitter. They were waiting step by step, minute by minute for Donovan Mitchell to trade to happen.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but it wasn't for Obi. I think it's a lot of speculation that Obi was in that deal. They probably asked for him quite a few times. Obi's not going nowhere. And to all the naysayers, the haters out there, take this.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Yes, no one wants to hear that BS. That's BS. That's fake news.
Facts.
Okay, but I want to show you something interesting. I want to show you the good. The good was what you saw in Jalen Brunson. And they had an interview. JJ Redick had an interview with with Brunson after he signed with the Knicks. And check this out.
Sitting on an airplane with you, we were having a long conversation in the middle of one of our card games about your upcoming free agency, your free agent year, and the potential of a contract extension. And I remember you giving me a number that you felt really comfortable with taking from Dallas, and that extension wasn't offered, from my understanding, until after the trade deadline. And by that time, you were having a monster season, and you sort of bet on yourself. You take it back a year. Could you have envisioned a scenario where you sign a $100 million contract?
No.
Tells you.
But listen, I got to tell you guys, he is very humbled. He said all the right things. Listen, I'm a person who, I don't want to say falls in love, because, you know, we're guys here. You know, if there's ladies in here, I'll say, but I'm a person who feels a connection with a player. And that normally takes a few days, a few games for me to see how they are. But let me tell you, this kid Brunson, just based off of his interview, I already love him, man. I mean, just the stuff that he was saying, how he was saying that, you know, he's not, like I said it before yesterday, he's not athletic. He was always the underdog. Everybody always doubted him, but he has heart, and he leaves it all out on the court. And us New York Knick Nation, that's what we love. From the John Starks to the Latrell Sprewells to the Larry Johnsons to the Charles Oakleys.
And don't forget Carmelo Anthony.
Listen,
NYC Melo.
NYC Melo. You already know I love that. So, listen, Melo, I'm going to tell you, I've been saying exactly what you said right here. I got Cam Reddish quickly in 48 6-round picks. That would be a dream. Obi is the next upgraded Amari. I've been saying that all season. Last season, I said that Obi Toppin is a 2.0. He's a hybrid of Amari Stoudemire. He's an Amari with a jump shot. And I would love to keep him, man. By all means necessary. I would give up anything else they want. If they want 2 extra picks, me personally, I would give them the 2 extra picks with my eyes closed, just to keep Obi.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, NYCE Mello 007. He says Cam Reddish quickly 48 and 6. That sounds about it.
A good pick. That's a good package.
That's I think that's what's going to happen eventually. But this fake news from yesterday that Obi was involved in the trade is pretty ridiculous to me. But Knick Nation, give me your opinion. I have to catch up on the chat. Thank you, NYC Mello. Kerry Cooper salutes and resolute to the chat. I am new to the channel. I love the IP man clip. Oh, yeah, Kerry. Kerry, I appreciate your comments. I saw you on my comments on one of my videos, and I responded to you. But, Kerry, I remember who you are. Thank you, my friend, for getting involved and just coming on board, man, Kerry. I invited you, and you came on, and I appreciate you, sir. Salutes to you, sir. There we go. G-Man78. I like Obi as well, but we love Mitch on the Knicks. Yes, it's going to happen. You can have your cake and eat it too, Knick Nation. You can have your cake and eat it too, G-Man. Johnny Davis, I was laughing at your movie clip.
Hey, Johnny,
that's what I felt yesterday. You know, I didn't even meditate. I meditate like 2 or 3 times a day. I went last night, didn't meditate, thinking about this, crazily about Obi leaving. And then this morning, I usually meditate. No, I came on. I was thinking of, I just had to let my frustrations out in my little workout and my mental workout. And you're going to see a little different from me today. And Zen, I'm usually pretty calm and collect, you know, but I'm letting the NYC streets out of me today. And I'll mellow down as we go along. But Johnny, I appreciate you laughing. I was laughing, making the clip, creating the clip. But thank you. Prezi, RJ, Obi, Sims, Hartenstein, Brunson, Mitch, Rob are untouchables. We need to get rid of Randall, Fournier, Rose, Cam, and IQ. Hopefully we can keep Grimes, Deuce to maintain our defensive shooting. I agree, President Boss. Look, Randall, there's talks of Randall leaving this team. Oh, if Obi is staying, Randall is gone. And Randall's going to be going to the Lakers. And let me just give you the bad about getting back Westbrook. People think that he's going to play. He is not going to play, Knick Nation. His $46 million is going to be they're just gonna write that off the books.
You know what that's for? Ladies and gentlemen, for you guys don't know, I don't know if you know, it's for RJ Barrett. It's to save 20 million and put it towards RJ Barrett's extension. Right. So listen, I'm with it 110%. Let's do it. Where do I sign, man? At this point, I wish I had Leon Rose on speed dial so I can tell him, listen, this is what you got to make it work. Offer the picks, offer the second round picks, unprotected. It's perfectly fine. Just don't involve Obi. I know you guys are going to hate me for this, but I'll even be okay with parting with McBride. And I only say that. I like McBride a lot, but I only say that because we have a Brunson already here. And if they don't want quickly and if they want McBride, I would be okay with that. So, it's just
right. I
agree.
Here's
what it is.
Thank you, Prezi the Boss. That's some great insight on your part. Kerry Cooper, salutes to the chat. Salute Zenray. Love the IP man clip. I hope I'm not doubling up on it. I think maybe you typed it twice, but I appreciate you, Kerry. I know I spoke to you, or we wrote back and forth on the comments on one of my podcasts, and I invited you to come over, and I appreciate you being here, Kerry. I appreciate you, brother. So we got Inside Sorts. Salutes to you, sir. Appreciate you coming on.
What's going on,
Johnny Davis. Yo, Brunson is going to be dope here. Yes.
Facts.
If that clip does not get you excited, Johnny Davis, I 110% agree with you. Big task at hand. I hope that nobody's involved in this trade. I hope that the Knicks can just move on from this speculate and keep building and develop. Hey, big task. Leon Rose will walk away. The question is Danny Ainge going to let Leon Rose walk away? He wants to start a new slate. He is going to get 6 draft picks, number ones. So that's what he wants the majority of, but he has to save face and get some young kids here as well. Obi is not in the deal. I think it could be a Cam and McBride type of thing with Fournier involved in it, and just to make the contract match, they'll work out some kind of scenario. But Obi Topping won't be leaving New York. Thank you, Big Task. Prezi the Boss, Danny Demon wants our soul, and I think this is the reason why it happened. The Don is just rolling his eyes. You can't have Obi or Grimes. Prezi the Boss, he's playing a hardcore chess game. He's not playing Danny Ainge's checkers. Listen, at the end, either Leon Rose is going to get he's going to get Mitchell on his demand, or he's going to walk. He's not going to give up the farm for Donovan Mitchell. Thank you, Prezi. Don, what's up? Zenray, what's up? Juby, what's good? Don, we appreciate you, brother. I know yesterday and one of the comments and on my last podcast, you were furious about even hearing Obi in the deal, and I was furious as well. I couldn't believe that I was falling for something like that. The IP man came out of me. I'm telling you, Don, welcome, brother. Another knowledgeable Knicks fan. He's one of my, I think, Prezi and Don were one of my first subscribers.
The OGs.
And I appreciate you guys. Big task. We got Brunson, which is a good acquisition by the Knicks, and we didn't lose anything. Let's take it from there. Big task. Well said. Prezi the Boss, Westbrook will just be a salary dump. Yes, he will. Knick Nation thinks that he should play on the team. It makes no sense. It's just going to destroy. I mean, if you're getting rid of Julius Randle, which is a quote-unquote bad apple, and you're just going to bring Westbrook here, not that he has bad apple issues. He's just a ball hog. He's a horrible three-point shooter. He's not a team player. He doesn't pass the ball. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's a triple-double machine, but that's all he does. Look, Knick Nation, he's not going to be on the Knicks. Prezi said it best. He's a salary dump at best. Big Tat, he's available actually. Alfred Payton is actually available, but I don't think the Knicks are gonna go there.
Always forward, guys. Never backwards. The only exception I will make is just Carmelo to send him off, not to even have him for for years and build around him. You never want to go backwards. You always want to move forwards in life, in sports, and everything.
Yeah, I agree. Alfred Payton, I mean, if you need to get him as a defensive guy off the bench, I'd
rather get Frank Nicolina. Imagine how I feel about that.
Listen, Alfred Payton got killed in New York, man, that year. He was toast. Everybody in New York wanted him out.
Guy can't. He could be wide open right underneath the rim. The guy can't hit. a layup. The guy cannot hit a jump shot. Terrible player. Defense, fantastic.
He was a good defender. Prezi the ball, 6 picks, 4 first rounders, and 2 seconds. Westbrook, Randall, and Rose keep the rest of our draft players. Prezi, that's what Leon Rose, is going for. And I think he's going to get his wish. You think Danny Ainge is going to walk away from 6 draft picks, a Cam Reddish, a McBride? He's not going to walk away from that. He's not going to walk away from that. Thank you, Prezi. Dream lineup: Money Mitch, Obi, RJ, Spider, Brunson, starter, Sims, Sims, Hartenstein, Hunt, Grimes, and Deuce, the second team. Get Melo, a few more players.
Oh, Prezi. That's the comment of the night. That's the comment of the night right there, Prezi. I love it.
Thank you, Prezi. Prezi, the boss. I will resign. Pinson before getting paid.
Listen,
yeah, I totally agree. But
I'll get Felton out of retirement before I get Alfred Payton.
I totally agree. Listen, look, the Knicks are moving forward, like Juby says. We're not going to go backwards. But let me just put on Stephen A. Smith. He's going to talk a little bit about the bad. So this program is the good. We talked about the good in Jalen Brunson, the bad, and then the ugly. So this is Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook. Yeah, here's the deal. Because he's supposed to be Russell Westbrook. That ain't what we've seen this season, though. Missed layups, missed jump shots. Hell, there was one point where he showed up on a layup line and threw it over the backboard. Pre-game. Airball layups, hitting the side of backboards, stuff like that. I mean, Lord, the brother can do a lot of things. He's a future Hall of Famer, but a shooter, he is not. Julius Randle, my New York Knicks.
The ugly.
Again, I know Randall balled out against the Mavs, won by 30 last night. He dropped 26. However, that was on the road in Dallas with Julius Randle. Whenever he shows up at the Garden, that's when things go wrong. When he's in front of that home crowd and they're demanding stuff from him and they're heckling him. He can't seem to take it from the New York fan base. His skin's a little bit thin when he's in New York City. When he's on the road, it's a different ball game. But when he's at home, he wishes he was on the road. So what's the problem? That's when Julius Randle shows up at Madison Square Garden. Seems to be tough for him to play in the Mecca.
He said it best, man. Thin skin. And what does Juby say all the time? You have to be thick skin to play in New York. But let me get a couple of comments. I'm going to continue the ugly and Julius Randle. Just check this out. But let me just get a couple of comments here. Where were we at?
Prezi, 826, last one.
6 picks, 4 first rounders, 2 seconds. I think we spoke about that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got Prezi again. Dream lineup, Money Mitch, Obi. Second team, get a few players now. We spoke about that. Thank you, Prezi. I will resign Pinson. We got that. Laughing out loud. I think I caught up with the chat.
We're caught up. Let's go.
Thank God.
Let's go. Salute to Zed-Ray. He's caught up.
Thank you, Juby. So let me just put on the rest of Julius Randle shenanigans. Check this out.
It looked like he got a piece of it. Randall still upset trying to talk to Brett Barnaky.
Julius Randle, strong like bull.
That's not so much. I like that New York attitude.
Randall's a strong guy.
Mike is breaking up.
I think Biz moves.
I'll act. Nick Nation. This is the reason why he's leaving New York.
Listen, Nick Nate. Me personally, I like the bully ball. To an extent, RJ Barrett plays bully ball perfectly. If somebody gets in his face, if he gets hard fouled, he'll throw a little something back at the other player. You know, Charles Oakley's known for that. John Starks used to headbutt Reggie Miller. I love it. You know why? Because that's how we are. New York is we the bad boys, and I like it. But Julius Randle took it to another level with fighting with coaches and teammates and fans, and yeah. So that's why he's forcing his way out of here.
He's forcing his way out big time, and I think, listen, he's not going to – listen, can he change? I don't know. You willing to take that chance? But if you can get him out of here and get Westbrook and just write that contract off, just buy him out, like Prezi mentioned, it's a win-win situation. So you bring Obi to the starting rotation. Ladies and gentlemen, as I started the show, Obi is not leaving New York. NYC Mello 007. I would love Carmelo Anthony back. He would be a good mentor to our youth players. And of course, he's not a prime Mello, but he can still give you big games and some nights.
NYC Mello, I missed you last night, man. I needed you here in my corner because I was getting torched yesterday from who was his Zenry yesterday?
I think was it Carlos?
No, it wasn't Carlos. It was somebody who we were talking. And we apologize. We were somebody who we mistaken for a female at first, but then we realized that it was a guy. But listen, the whole fact of the matter is, I'm on board with that. NYC Mello. I told our fans, I told Zenray that Mello here would be great for the youngsters. He can teach RJ Barrett that fantastic ISO jab step jump shot move, and just his veteranship. I think it'll be a fantastic piece. And of course, like you said, there'll be some nights where he can hit that big open shot if needed.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Prezi just mentioned to NYC Mello that Aldridge, we forget, will be another addition. He's available at the Nets. He was with the Nets. Nets picked him up on some kind of trade last year. He will also be a great mentor as well. So good point by you, Prezi. I appreciate that. Kerry Cooper back again with Randall. Remember when someone shows you who they believe in? With Randall, remember when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Listen, this is an old Latin saying. My mother used to tell me, and if you're Latin and you understand it, but I'll translate. Dime con quién tú estás y yo te digo quién tú eres. Tell me who you're with, and I'll tell you who you are. So if you're hanging around with the bad, you're nothing good yourself. If you're hanging with the good, then it's... And if you're hanging out with the ugly, we won't go there. But Cooper,
be careful who you surround yourself with, guys. That's basically it.
Exactly. Kerry Cooper again. We don't need to see how Randall is going to act this year to make a judgment. Yeah, this is a very judgmental society. Latinos are very judgmental, and I think most of every culture, they have the judgmental side. And Kerry, you're right. We don't need to see it again. He is who he is. He's still a 30-10. He's still a 20-10 guy. On the road, you saw the road games. He puts up points. He gets rebounds. But once he gets himself out of the game, he's such a different player. It's a mental issue. He just has to see a sports psychiatrist to help him with that. I mean, hey, listen, we all see people when we're not doing well, and it's nothing wrong seeing a psychiatrist. And there are plenty of sports psychiatrists. But once he gets that under control, he can be an elite player in the NBA. But he has to get help for those deficiencies in terms of just reacting in a very crazy way, to say the least. Thank you, Kerry. G-Man. Three-pointer Carmelo. Yes, he can still stroke that three.
He's saying it like the Knicks announcer is saying, three-pointer. That's what he means.
All right, there you go.
Facts,
G-Man. Thank you. Big task. Wait, I have a question. Do you think that perhaps with Brunson now on the team that Randall would play better? Yes, I said if they keep Randall, Brunson is the key to Randall's success. When Randall was that point forward, had plenty of turnovers, knucklehead plays because he's not a very good passer. So obviously he goes against double and triple teams, doesn't pass the ball out. They give him a title of no handle Randall one year. He was awful that first year here. So if you give him a point guard like Brunson, he can be a very, very good power forward in this league. But if Obi's staying and you can swing that trade with the Lakers, you have to do it. Thank you, Big Task. That's a great question, by the way.
And remember, Julius Randle had his most improved player when he had Elfrid Payton. I'm going to sound like a hypocrite right now. Elfrid Payton couldn't shoot, couldn't do anything, but he was a good ball facilitator, and Julius Randle didn't have to run that point forward and dribble into triple teams and try to do too much when they had Elfrid Payton and Derrick Rose is a backup mid-season. Last season, we didn't have that. We had the Kemba Walker experiment. We had the Derrick Rose shutdown. And we had Mr. Alex Burke running point guard 75% of the season. And we all know how that ended up. So that's why I think, besides the shenanigans and the mental stuff that Julius had, I think that's where his shooting was one of the worst of his careers, because he didn't have a legitimate starting point guard next to him.
That's where the Knicks went wrong. The Knicks haven't had a true point guard in so long. It's so long that can run this floor. I think Raymond Felton was the last one. And he wasn't great. He wasn't great, but he got the job done.
For me, the last point guard, and don't throw water at me, guys, either. The last star point guard that we had, in my opinion, was Stephon Marbury. I know it didn't end well with him.
Star, okay.
He's a bona fide point guard. That's somebody who could control the offense. Who's an actual like $100 million man that just got paid right now, Brunson guy. He could be. That's the last point guard I think we had.
Yeah, it's up for debate. But I think the star quality, Marbury was definitely a star. Angel Blue, welcome. And I know this is for Ronald. Ronald, this guy is poison. He is not going to want to relinquish his power. Then he is going to disrupt the team. Listen, that's a good point. Remember, he had all this power. Thibodeau never made him accountable for anything. And all of a sudden, you're going to make Julius Randle accountable? There's going to be a lot of laptops flying off people's hands and that bench, because it's not going to happen. And Angel Blue brought up a great point. And he will destroy this team chemistry. Thank you, Angel Blue. Appreciate you, brother. Henry, welcome, sir. I appreciate you coming back on. Randall needs to look at films on Mason, Oakland, how they drives fear in opposing team when they come to the Garden. Well,
I love it.
That's a good point. Knicks Nation, does anybody in the NBA fear Julius Randle? I don't think so. I don't think they even respect him to a certain point, because he's just a troublemaker. But Mason, Oakley, did the NBA fear them? Michael Jordan was getting hit all over the place. And obviously Phil Jackson on the bench was calling that, oh, they're throwing my players now. I mean, Phil Jackson played a mind game with the referees. But yeah, I don't think he opposes any fear. And I think Henry's right. Mason and Oakley, they were the enforcer back in the day for the Knicks. Good comment there, Henry. Thank you. Kerry, maybe we can get a therapist in Mitchell's trade for Randall.
I would love that.
Can you recommend anybody? Thank you, Kerry. Appreciate you, brother. Angel to Ronald again. I'll go further. Charlie Ward. Yes, that's a great point guard. He's solid.
He was the same.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Chris Childs, maybe no. He got overpaid a big contract, and I don't.
Everybody remembers Chris Childs for just going at it with Kobe Bryant. That was what he was known for. Charlie Ward. Yeah, Charlie Ward, though, hands down, I'll give you that. Charlie Ward was a great point guard. Wasn't a star, wasn't a superstar, but a great player, great teammate. He's my brother, one of my brother's favorite point guards of us growing up, for sure.
Sure, and I just want to put on what Alan Hahn put up yesterday, just to let the rumors stop from here. Let me just get Angel Blue off for a second so we can read this. Okay, a lot of rumors swirled today, which was yesterday, about Donovan Mitchell tweeting, "Man, God is good," this morning. I heard he was at a basketball camp in White Plains. There's nothing more than just rumors and speculations right now. Brian Windhorst said this morning at the ESPN that from what he knows, it's likely going to take a while. Look, Knick Nation, this is what I say to people that are saying that Obi's in the deal.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Nobody wants to hear that BS. It's fake news.
He says that to people about the Obi deal. I say that respectfully to Miami Heat fans who think they have a chance to steal Donovan Mitchell away from New York with a Tyler Hero package. Not happening, guys. Unless Miami Heat, Pat Riley gets another third team involved and is able to get the draft assets, it's not happening. So I need to, and I only mentioned that because I've been seeing on Twitter how everybody in Miami is saying that he's going there. They showed a picture of Donovan Mitchell on a beach chair and drinking something, and everybody was speculating that he was in in Miami in South Beach, and he's coming. That's why he said God was good. Again, like I said,
a lot of speculation. Angel Blue, this is Ferrano. Chris Child is more of a backup point guard. That's for me. I mean, when he was signed, he was given so much money. I think it was like a $5 million contract, which is a big contract back then. I don't remember the number, but it was a big contract. And the Knicks haters and even the press killed Chris Childs for getting all that money. And he turned out to what Angel's saying. He was a good backup point guard.
Better than Elfrid Payton, better than Alex Burke, in my opinion, on the point guard duties.
Thank you, Angel. Appreciate you. Kerry, we could just bring a Meta World Peace to help him.
Or Latrell.
No, Meta World Peace. He's just talking about, remember the riot Meta World Peace had in the stands in Indiana when he just lost it? I don't think Julius Randle, was he close to that? I know players have to hold him back. But Meta World Peace, he was a strong guy. There was like 3 or 4 guys try to hold him back, and they
Queens native. Queens native.
Remember that draft pick? We picked some. Who was that guy? The famous pick, and we passed on Meta World Peace.
Is it Frederick Weiss?
Yeah, Frederick Weiss.
That Vince Carter jumped on and said hello.
Yeah, that was horrible. G-Man 78. I feel like if we don't get Mitch, we need to keep Randall for points. But with Mitch in town, we won't need him and can slide, hopefully, Obi in the 4. No, Obi will be in the 4 if he's not involved in the trade. No, Obi, I can almost guarantee you. I'm not a betting man, but I can almost guarantee you Obi is not in the deal. Obi is not in the deal. It's going to be between Grimes and Quickly. And if I had to take a guess, Quickly will be gone. Quickly will be gone in the deal.
I think it'll be both. I think it'll be Grimes and Quickly.
I don't think so. I think if it's going to be one or the other, and I think
we're not talking about a regular role player here. We're talking about Donovan Mitchell, who hasn't publicly asked for a trade to Danny Ainge. He's done the body language, but he has not gone on record and said he wants out. So Danny Ainge is going to ask for Obi, and I'll agree with you. I don't think we're going to give up Obi Toppin. But yes, guys, ladies and gentlemen, get it through your Nick. Let's get it through our Nick Nation head. Quentin Grimes Quickly can be in a package, and McBride with some draft picks.
Trying to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, you're trying to get Donovan Mitchell for peanuts. It's not going to happen, Papa. It's not.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You think Leon? What's Utah interested in doing? They want the picks. They want to save face, and they want to get a couple of young guys here.
So you're going to turn away? You're giving me picks?
I don't know if they'll give them 8, but you think they're going to turn away from 6 unprotected picks? There's no way. There's no way.
How many did they get for? How many did they get for Rudy Gobert? They got 5 for Rudy Gobert with three players. So you're telling me they're going to take 6 picks and a Quentin Grimes and an Evan Fournier, and they should be and a Cam Reddish, and that should get the deal done. I hope.
Nick Nation, let me know in your comments. Do you feel Obi Toppin is leaving in this trade? Obi is not going nowhere.
Not Obi. But I think 2 out of the 3, and I say 3, 2 out of the 3 youngsters. I'm not even including McBride. So if you want to get technical, I'll say 2 out of the 4.
You don't need McBride technically. You don't need him. Think about
it. 2 out of the 4 youngsters, the prime youngsters, because I'm not including Cam Reddish, are going to be going in that package. I in my gut, I'll tell you guys that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Grimes and Quickly, or Grimes and McBride, or Quickly and McBride. It's going to be something to that effect, 100%.
It's going to be Cam, Quickly, and McBride in that trade. That's what I think. And then you throw Fournier in there as well.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get Obi and Grimes. I think they're going to try. They're going to hold on to Grimes. And I'll tell you why. Nick Nation, let me answer a few questions, and I'll show a little video on Grimes a little bit, and especially on the Summer League, what he did, basically. The whole team did, basically. Angel Blue, Ronald understand Leon draft Obi to be a star forward, exactly. On the Knicks, Brunson Spidey is by far better point guard than Chris Childs.
Of course.
Yes, Angel. Thank you. Keith Turner. Thank you. Welcome, Keith Turner. I appreciate you. Not here to defend Randall, but Tibbs is much to blame for Randall's failures. Bad rotation, playing Burks at point guard, playing players out of position. No help for RJ, who was so inefficient along with the others. Well, I agree with you, but you can't really blame Tibbs. He had no point guard, number one. His mistake was giving Randall all this responsibility. But yeah, I could understand what you're saying, Keith. If you don't have a point guard and you let Randall run the team, bringing the ball up and being the man, because the year before he says, I'm here. That makes him a man who has the last call on the team. It's like he was the coach on the floor as well, because he was out of control, and Tibbs didn't make him accountable for anything, Keith. So, Keith, I understand what you're saying. The rotation with Burks at point guard, not playing Deuce, I agree with you. Burks, that was horrible coaching. So, yes, I can agree with you. Tibbs coaching, the way he coached Randall, and the way he coached the team by bringing Burks when you had a Quickly and you had a McBride on the bench. Those were fireable offenses. I always said in the last 5-10 shows that I spoke about this, those are fireable offenses, but obviously he has a good relationship with Leon Rose, and I think Leon Rose saved his job. Any other GM or president will probably fire him because you had a chance to do something special with this young team, and you didn't do it. You went with the veterans, playing Burks 40 minutes, playing Randall 45 minutes, and only playing Obi 9, 11 minutes per game. Juby. It's incredible. Henry, who rammed Charlie Ward flipping PJ Brown in that Miami? Yeah.
Yes, sir. I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Thank you, Henry. Those are the good old days, Henry. That's when we had the fire. And I think if we get we get Donovan Mitchell here, that's the kind of fire this Knicks team is going to have. Remember, you saw the video. Brunson is a NYC dog. He's a dog. He's going to do everything he needs to do to get this team moving forward. So watch out, Knicks Nation. Frederick Weiss was the worst bust in New York history.
Agree.
Yeah, that should have been a fireable offense. That was Scott Layden who drafted him. I think it was Scott Layden. I know it was Isaiah Thomas, and I know it was in Checkets. I think that was Scott Layden who Nation. Let me know who was the GM Frederick Weiss draft. I think it was Scott Layden. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was Checkets or Isaiah Thomas.
I'll put that as the worst draft pick, and the worst trade ever was Andre Bardiani.
That was another one. I think that was Scott Layden's hand there. Big task at hand. Oh Lord, Frederick Weiss. If he dunks, could kill. He couldn't get off the floor.
He didn't even come to the NBA after that dunk. He stayed overseas.
Thank you, Big task. Angel Blue. Ronald, Obi is not in the deal. Let's not forget, we can't lose a point guard. We got Jokic overseas, who's tearing it up in the league in Europe. I agree. There you go. It's a great point.
Now, that's a good point. But what if Danny Ainge wants Jokic and not McBride? So, what if he takes the Jokic and some, the 6 draft picks and, like I say, a Grimes and a Quickly?
Listen, as long as Obi and Grimes are in the deal, that he can take a pick of his litter. He's not gonna have Obi and Quickly. Thank you, Angel Blue. I appreciate you. Keith Turner. No way we get Donovan without Obi. It's just not going to happen. Keith, I'm not a betting man. Leon Rose will walk away from the deal. He will walk away. And we'll build the team that we have now. We have Brunson leading the ship. We'll make that trade with the LA, have Obi start and move everybody up one step. It's not going to happen. Believe me. It's like when you run a business and you get your first, say, person that you pick to run the store, and you know that person is just valuable. You bought you all these profits, and it was your first pick. Maybe the store analogy is not a good one, but you have an attachment to that pick. You want to make that work. It makes you look like a genius, and you're going to just trade that and throw that away, Keith? He's not being traded. I can almost guarantee you.
Keith, I will tell you this, buddy. I was kind of on with your mindset on that. I'm back and forth with it. I don't want it to happen, but I will say this: if this trade doesn't happen, and like Zenray says, Leon Rose walks away, he better count his lucky stars, and he better pray that Brunson and Julius Randle and everybody else has an all-star year, and they make it to the playoffs. Because I can guarantee you, and I'm not a betting man, if the Knicks come and they don't get Donovan Mitchell and they repeat what they did last season, Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose, and Worldwide West will all be fired. We'll get Donald Trump, which we're not even going to get into that, to sit there and say, you're fired 100% if they don't make a trade. That's all I'm going to say.
I think that's too much of an extreme, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Listen, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree. Keith, I have much respect. And if that's what you think, and Keith Turner says Donovan Mitchell ain't free, well, we ain't getting him for free. We're giving you 6 unprotected first rounders and maybe a 7 at best. That's not free. You're giving young talent with that as well. So you think that Danny Ainge is going to walk away from that? He's not going to walk away from 6, 7 first rounders. And you're going to throw him some talent anyway. You telling me a Cam Reddish is not talented? You telling me Brad is not talented? Look, Keith, we can agree to disagree. Obi Toppin is not leaving New York in any kind of trade.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
No one wants to hear that. At least I don't want to hear it. Angel Blue. Ronald, we're going to have to give up a stud to them. Obi not going, but Grimes quickly. I can see that. Keith Turner is adamant like Juby, like Obi has to go in that deal. Why does he have to go in that deal?
No, I didn't say Obi has to go in that deal. I just said you can't give a Cam Reddish, Evan Fournier, and 5 draft picks and say that's going to work. This is Donovan Mitchell. Say what you want about him. Like, you guys are making it sound like he's a Charlie Ward, even though I love Charlie Ward. I'm just saying, like, this is a star, not a superstar, but he's a star. Like, you got to give something up to get a star. You're not going to get a bag of chips and a chopped cheese and 4 draft picks for Donovan Mitchell. It's just not going to happen, guys. That's just my opinion.
Listen, I
agree with you. Obi Toppin shouldn't go in that deal.
I tell you, Isaiah Thomas, Scott Perry, Scott Layden would have made this trade last week, and we would have been massacred. Leon Rose is a different type of cat. Un gato inteligente. He's a smart cat. He's just not gonna give away the farm. Donovan Mitchell is a great player, but we still have enough assets to satisfy him. Danny Ainge's problem is he's going for the gusto. He wants to take everything that the Knicks built in the last 2.5 years, and you're just going to give that away? Yes, Donovan Mitchell is a great talent. He's not a superstar. Now, if we were talking about LeBron James or Michael Jordan, we're talking about a Larry Bird, a Magic Johnson. That is totally different. Then you can say to me I'm crazy. But Donovan Mitchell is not this type of superstar. He's a star. He's going to make the team better. Offensively, he has a lot of work defensively. He has a lot to prove. And I think he can become an all-star. But are you going to give all these assets for a star player? Nick Nation, come on. Leon Rose is building this for the last 2.5 years. And for you to say, Juby, that he's going to get fired because he didn't get Donovan Mitchell, you have to make a stand some way somehow.
What I said, Nick Nation and Zenray, is if they do not pull this trade, which is because he's asking for too much, 100%, if they repeat what they did last season and they're back in the draft picking at 12th or 11th, yeah, he'll be fired. Because what are you gonna tell me? Oh, we got great draft pick, guys. We got assets, but here we are fighting for the 12th seed in the lottery tournament. Come on, Nick Nation. I'm 40 years old. I'm probably not the youngest, not the oldest, but I've been a Knicks fan since 1989. And for the last 15 years, I'm sick and tired of people telling me, well, let's build through the draft. Let's do this. And I've been through the whole, we got Obi Toppin. We got Quentin Grimes. We got all the players. We got them. We got good players. We got a foundation. I'm not saying to blow up the foundation for one player, but you got to give up something to get a piece. But I will tell you, and I'm going to keep saying this, we don't make any strides towards progression. Even if we don't pull off this trade, something needs to be done. I'm not with that whole let's keep building from the draft and let's be a lottery team. We got 12 picks for the next 10 years. Nah.
You think Danny Ainge is a reasonable negotiator?
He's an assassin.
Okay, exactly. So are you going to let him take advantage?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm
by
not saying
taking
that.
our assets and picks and players? Juby, you have to make a stand with this guy. He's going to come running back. There's no team in the NBA that can offer what the Knicks can offer. Listen, I respectfully disagree with you and Keith, but you have to make a stand. You have to draw a line on the sand. Juby, I understand where you're coming from. The frustration of Knicks.
I stand with you with Obi Toppin 100%. Nick Nation, Zenray, I don't want to give up Obi. Obi should not be in that deal. But for us here to sit here and say, well, we don't want to give up Obi, we don't want to give up Grimes, we want to give them Quickly and Cam Reddish, who hasn't done anything, who didn't play last season, who has the potential to be something. We want to give them Cam Reddish, Emmanuel Quickly, and 6 draft picks, and that should get the deal done. And Evan Fournier. It's not reality, guys. If you want to keep Obi, let's do it. I'm with it. But do expect Quentin Grimes to be part of that deal. You cannot have everything. You got to give up something. What you're gonna give up? That's all I gotta say. You have to give up something.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
It's all right. Listen, like I said, Knicks fan since 1989. I seen the worst. I seen the Clarence Weatherspoon teams, and just enough is enough.
I understand Knicks' frustration. Just because we're frustrated, we're gonna make a kind of move that can set the team back for who knows how long.
How?
Okay, we're gonna get to Henry. If we trade Quickly, where is our backup point guard coming from? We can't depend on Rose in this entire season. Henry, make a good point. You make a good point. Listen, we still got Rokas in the Euro League. We have other options. So we see what happens. Right now, our main concern is to get this roster going, get Donovan Mitchell here, keep Obi, and try to keep Grimes as well. And I know people, Knick Nation, is probably want to throw tomatoes at me. Oh, this guy in the orange shirt, he's unrealistic. You know, I think those flags burning behind him is roasting his brain. Listen, we have to make a stand somewhere, somehow. Juby, I respect you, brother. I love you like my blood brother. And I respectfully disagree with you and Keith. He's going to draw the line. Danny Ainge is not going to walk away from this deal. They'll negotiate something out. Obi's not in the deal, and I'm pretty sure Grimes is not in the deal as well. They'll get the 6-7 picks, but by giving up Grimes and Obi, you're going to set back the team. You're going to set back the team somehow, some way. Henry, thank you. I appreciate you your question. Kerry Cooper, if worse comes to worse, Obi has a contract expires in 2 years. We can get him back. Kerry, I think someone brought that up yesterday. I don't know if it was you or someone else, but you make a good point. You make a good point. Thank you, Kerry, to catch up in the chat here. Angel Blue, Rano, Tibbs is the blame. He treated Randall like Kobe when he's clearly a number 2. Exactly. Nice. He gave the keys to him like he's some kind of star player. Great comment on your part, Angel. Michael, hey, what's up, Michael? Welcome. Appreciate you, brother. Angel Blue, Ronald, we gave up Jokic, Derrick Rose, 4 picks, and Danny, I jumped on that move. Donovan, Jordan, and Clarkson. Okay. We'll see what happens, Angel. There's a lot of moves that Leon Rose, he plays chess. He has so many moves in advance, how he's gonna make this team a competitive team this year. And I'm hoping that he does not give up his youth just to get Donovan Mitchell here. Listen, can we be a better team with Donovan Mitchell? Absolutely. But you diminish the bench and you diminish the future of this team. And I understand Juby, I understand Knick Nation being frustrated, but we cannot be bullied anymore the way Isaiah Thomas just gave picks and players away. The way Scott Layton, man, was president, just giving players and making ridiculous trade. Scott Perry was another guy. If Scott Perry was here running the show, he would have done this 2 weeks ago. I mean, guys, there has to be a new culture, a new change. I mean, we've been waiting for so long. Can we wait 2 or more 3 years if we walk away from this deal and just build with the foundation that Leon Rose? Leon Rose, I trust. Give the man a chance. I know we want everything yesterday. We've been waiting for 50 years. We can wait another 2 or 3 years. Knick Nation, Obi's going to be a star. Grimes, potential star. Give it time, Knick Nation. I'm just asking, give it time. I understand where you guys coming from. Okay, thank you, Angel. Keith, if it comes out Leon Rose didn't trade for Donovan and he goes, let's say, to Brooklyn, we are struggling with these kids. Yeah, Keith, look, a lot of things can happen, and I understand a lot of situation. He is not going to the Nets. I think they have a lot of complications there with the team. Anything's possible. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I don't have my crystal ball in front of me, but I can assure you one thing that my crystal ball is telling me right now. Obi Toppin is not going anywhere in any trade. Thank you, Keith. Michael, trade anyone to get Mitchell. I don't know anyone, Michael. I don't know, Michael. I don't know. I would say I would hold off on that. I think if you trade anyone, Leon Rose will be on the unemployment line. And not too far behind him will be Coach Tibbs. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate your comment. Angel Blue, Ronald, I don't think they'll get rid of Leon. He's got 22 draft picks. He signed Brunson. He's got rid of Tibbs. I want Allen Iverson. Okay. Don't understand the Allen Iverson here. Who's the Allen Iverson in the Knicks?
He wants Tibbs. I want Allen Iverson to coach. You want AI to coach the Knicks?
Oh, okay. You know something? I don't think it's going to be. It's going to be Johnny Bryant. He's the guy who's going to be next in line. And plus, if Donovan Mitchell's here, that's an easy transition.
And if it wasn't Johnny Bryant, I think Mark Jackson would be.
Mark Jackson is another option. He got blackballed because of his religious beliefs, and he's preaching the word. I mean, but he needs just to coach. And look, at Golden State, man, he got bamboozled, man. That team he created there, he should have won those championships instead of Steve Kerr. But thank you, Angel. Appreciate it. Ronald, 3-time All-Star. We have to give a stud. Leon Rose is a chess master. Angel, he is a chess master. Ronald, he has got 5 picks, 3 valuable. Goldberg in defense. Yes. Angel, I'm moving along as much as possible. Angel, Ronald, at the same time, I've been a Knicks fan. He's not healthy to earn a 1 more year with Brunson. He's signing in my book to earn another year. Yes, I agree. You signed Brunson. You're going to fire a guy who just signed Brunson and has family ties with the team? Okay, Mayday, Mr. Mayday. Ooh, I butchered your comments last week. I wasn't saying the Knicks should give 6 rounders and Grimes and IQ. That's what a report's saying. Hey, Mr. Day, my apologies. That's the translation part of being from the Caribbean that you kind of misread and analyze, or you kind of read the comments the right way.
Listen, guys, last 2 minutes, I had a zen right here. I had to do some breathing. You notice I've been quiet the last 2 minutes because all this craziness about let's wait 5 years and we waited 50 years, and I want to see the Knicks do good before I die. I'm not saying I'm going to die next year. I'm not saying I'm going to die in 2-3 years. But I got 5 boys who already left my house, all in their 20s. And then I got a 6-year-old. I'm hoping the Knicks, I can go to a parade with them before my older ones make me a double grandpa, and then this one makes me a grandpa. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Dude, at least your grandkids will see a championship someday.
Yeah, at least, hopefully, if Leon Rose is still in charge, we'll just hold all the draft picks in our pocket, and we won't trade anybody. We'll develop youngsters. Don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah, Mr. Day, my apologies if I misread your comment last week. That's on me. I need to get hooked on phonics or something of that nature. But my apologies to Mr. Day. Big task at hand, but my friend, that's exactly what the Sixers did. They built through the draft. Now look at where the Sixers are, contenders. That's what the Knicks need to do. Yeah, a lot of teams are doing that. Memphis, look at Memphis. Look at the Celtics. There's quite a few teams.
The Sixers have Joel Embiid. the Sixers had Ben Simmons. We drafted Quentin Grimes, who has the potential to be a great player. All-star, superstar, don't know. Obi Toppin, who's a great player, has the potential to be a star, but we don't know. So
listen, thank you, Big Task. You make a good point. And Keith Turner is saying IQ won't be in the trade. We don't know. I can tell you this much: Obi Toppin won't be in the trade. And you saw the play there with Brunson passing the ball to Obi and Mitch. You think they're gonna make a video like that of Obi? He's a crowd favorite. He's an organization favorite on the team. I mean, it's not organization wise. They love Obi. Team wise, they love Obi. I mean, look at the energy he brings, the smile, the elation. Just he's very athletic, man. This guy is a human highlight reel, man. I mean, you're not gonna just turn around and trade him because you want to get Brunson here. We'll make other accommodations to get Donovan Mitchell here. But we're not going to trade the farm, Obi Toppin, Grimes, and all these players. And then we're going to give you 6 or 7 unprotected draft picks that you're asking for? Come on, Knick Nation. That's unreasonable. And Danny Ainge is unreasonable. So that's why Leon Rose has to draw a line, Knick Nation. You have to draw a line somewhere. You know, if you don't draw a line, then you're just a joke. Leon Rose then deserves to be fired. But Leon Rose plays chess. He's playing hard-nosed. That's why these negotiations are taking so long. Then Ainge is going to give in. He's going to turn away. Who else can offer what the Knicks can offer? Nobody. Unless there's some kind of 3-team trade involved. Maybe, possibly. I'm saying nobody, but there's a possibility. But Leon Rose somehow has to draw a line in the sand. Can we build a championship while having Brunson leading the way and having Cam Reddish here and Obi starting lineup once we flip Randall for Westbrook? Yes, we can build something special. Let these young kids play. Let the youth develop and come together. Knick Nation, I understand, Keith, Juby, you don't agree with me. I respectfully disagree, but let's go on. Let's see what happens. Thank you, Keith. Barry, Neal, Grimes, McBride, Rose, and Fournier, 6 picks. That it? I agree, Barry. I agree. Thank you, Barry, for coming on again. I love that.
But that's a legitimate 100% offer. That this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying Obi. But you guys want to keep Obi and Grimes? No, that's a package.
I'm saying he's trying to save Grimes. Can he get away with it? I don't know. But Obi's not going nowhere. Grimes probably, but I can see a Grimes going in that deal. I'm not saying he's not going, but I know what Leon Rose is trying to do. He's trying to save by keeping Grimes on the team. He's a homegrown kid, and I don't blame him. But Barry, thank you. Angel Blue. Ronald, let's not forget. Okay, we'll let you and Ronald continue. Angel Blue, I appreciate you. Have a lot of good points. Let me just move on. Ronald, all right.
Who's Ronald? Is this
Ronald's one of the, I think somebody in the chat. I'm thinking. I'm not Ronald. You're not Ronald.
I'm not Ronald.
Ronald's in the chat. Yeah. Thank you, Angel Blue. Listen, I'm passing on because we have a lot to catch up. We have Michael here once again. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell is the number 1 guy on a championship team. He could be. He could be. I mean, you get a lot of floor spacing with Brunson and Donovan Mitchell. Then you have Obi at the 4, a lot of spacing there. Obi doesn't need the ball in his hands all the time. You have RJ Barrett, and we have Mitchell Robinson, the defender up there. I think the spacing is going to be so much better. Can he be a number 1 guy? He's done it with Utah, and it's got him every time he's been there. He's been there. They've been in the playoffs. So something he's doing right. There's something he's doing right. Let's see, Michael. I don't know. Let's see. Michael, again, big fan of you guys. Oh, Michael, I appreciate you, man. That's a great comment on your end, man. We try our best, man. I tangle my words a little bit. I try to speak a little bit kind of 2 languages at the same time. I do that New York Rican talk, and it's just the upbringing here in NYC, man. But I appreciate it, Michael. That's great on your end. Thank you. Mr. Day, I agree with you 100%. We shouldn't overpay. The fact that we have a bunch of picks doesn't lower their value. People are missing that after we give up the farm, DM will be average 34 in cap space. Mr. Day, that's the most intelligent comment I've seen so far. I mean, you, Don, Prezi, you guys are on the ball. Even Barry, throwing that Grimes in there. That's a great possibility, but that's fact. That's fact. Thank you, Mr. Day. Once again, we should move up the draft instead of giving 7 picks for an All-Star. The price is dumb. No, it is. Knick Nation is so desperate for a championship that they're willing to just throw everything away. And I think Leon Rose started building here something special. Why would you throw that away just for one guy? The guy's not a Larry Bird or Magic Johnson or Jordan or LeBron. Why would you do that? You need a person who's going to come in and change the atmosphere. If you bring a LeBron in his heyday, wow, that's a difference. He's a difference maker. He can change the whole dynamic to a team. Does Donovan Mitchell, can he do that? Kevin Durant, another guy. In his heyday, same thing. Look, I'm not degrading anything of Donovan Mitchell's skill. He's a great player. He does offensively. He can carry the team. He needs to work on his defense. But is he that guy to give up all those assets? That's me. Leon Rose is not going to go there. So that's what I'm thinking. So Knicks Nation, thank you, Mr. Day. Frank Matos, either Obi or Cam has to be in the trade for salary purposes. Yes, and I think it'll be Cam. I think it'll be Frank. I think it's going to be Cam. Thank you, Frank, for coming on. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Michael, I don't want Westbrook on the Knicks. No, Westbrook is only going to be a salary dump, like Prezi said, and that makes a lot of sense. Why would you bring a guy here who's going to mess up the whole atmosphere of the team? He's a salary dump, and like Juby mentioned earlier, RJ's Barrett money is going to come from that. So Westbrook is only going to be a salary dump once we get Randall out of here. Thank you, Michael. Ronald AM from the island. What's your words? Listen, I'm 49. I haven't seen a Knicks team win since my Knicks run in the 90s. I'm starting for a Knicks championship. Milwaukee Bucks won before us. Yeah, I think Juby and Knicks Nation feel the same. And just curious, who is Ronald? Ronald from the island. Who's Ronald from the island? I'm trying to find out. Okay, Angel Blue is. You make a good point. Listen, I understand you and Juby have the same sentiment, man. I appreciate you, Angel. Ronald, Leon has dealt with many agents. He is yes, I agree. Leon Rose is not a new kid on the block, man. He's not a new kid on the block. Juby.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is my niece's phone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now we got it. Gotcha, Ronald. The guy. Oh, got you. The league is designed to favor teams that would build through the draft. You only give up the pick and little cap space. Next big signing, free agents. You give up cap space but no assets. Yes, Mr. Day. I agree 110%. The worst move in this trading for stars, especially after Gobert's trade, jacked up the price because you give up a ton of assets. See, and that's what Minnesota kind of created. Danny Ainge thinks that we're the Minnesota Timberwolves, that we're going to give up all these assets, and so Mr. Day makes a great point. Angel Blue, I'm a big fan too. Yes, Angel Blue, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You've been on the last few shows and you've been dynamic, man. Thank you, Angel Blue.
I'm sorry, guys. I was just putting up me in the future when the Knicks win a championship. This is how I'm going to be sitting out the garden. Let's go, because we got the youth, guys, and we got 45 draft picks. I'm going to be sitting there at the game like that with a white beard. I already got the bald head. So this is in about 40 years. I look forward because the best is yet to come, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go.
Let's
cute, go.
I like it. Barry Neal. It's funny how media praise Mitchell for taking a bum team to the playoffs on his back every year, but when the Knicks come to play, it's like he's just okay. Hey Barry, I please don't think that I think he's okay. I think he is a good player. But Barry, I know you mentioned the plays you want to give, but you know that Danny Ainge is an assassin. He is going to want everything. And if you give in to Danny Ainge, he'll take your farm, he'll take your house, he'll take your wife if he has to. I mean, he's just going to take everything along the way. You have to draw a line in the sand and say, hey, this is it. This is where I'm going. I'm not going any further. So that's what I'm saying, Barry. I think that, yes, Mitchell can take us to the next level. But I don't think that we should go by giving. I think the trade offer you made is reasonable, but a lot of people are saying that Obi's in his deal. And what I say to them is,
Ain't Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
So, hey, so thank you, Barry. I appreciate it, brother. So I don't think I'm disrespecting Donovan Mitchell in any way. I think he's a great talent. I think if anything, he can be an all-star or superstar with this Knicks team. But to give up all these players and draft capital, I'm a little hesitant, and I think Leon Rose is as well. Thank you, Barry. This is my niece's phone and using. Okay, got you, Angel Blue. Appreciate you. Ronald, me and you both, I feel well deserved. My birdie is already white.
I think you're Ronald, Ray. I think you're Ronald.
No, I'm not Ronald. Unless he's calling me Ronald McDonald, the clown. I don't know. I could be the clown, man. I could be the next Joe Judge. But maybe
chat. Let us know who is Ronald. I'm trying to figure out.
No, he said it's his niece's phone, so maybe she has Ronald already premeditated in the conversation in the text.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. So,
okay, that will make sense.
So listen, I just want to get to something here, and I just want to show this to Knick Nation, the people who hasn't seen this as of yet. I just want to put this on here because it's very important to get Knick Nation knowing what we have in Jalen Brunson. Check this out and look at who he passes the ball to. Very creative, very creative.
Agency hits. Why'd you pick the Knicks?
I've known them for a long time. It's family. It's a comfort level to this, and something that I just couldn't turn a blind eye to. I knew that these guys have my best interest at heart, and they've known me since, I think Leon probably saw me before my dad did. So, I mean, it's just one big family for me, and I'm just super excited.
Jalen Brunson from Villanova University.
I think if people at a young age see a guy who may not be the tallest, strongest, or fastest, but a guy who can really make a difference in whatever he's doing.
Jalen Brunson is mature, and he is a winner and an excellent point guard. He'll go right up, gets up with the reverse. Brunson lobs it up. Robinson, alley-oop finish. Brunson ahead of Stein. He burrows in deep. Brunson on a run. Why not? Beautiful pass. Toppin with the slap.
OB.
Jalen Brunson in the open courts. Hezzy. Brunson. Beautiful fake and pull-up.
I just want to say I'm super excited to be a Knick. Can't wait to get started. It's about the little things for me. People see, the stats and all that stuff, but the things that matter to me the most is just how the little things, like putting my body on line for my teammates, diving on the ground, and being that person who just everyone can turn to, saying that guy is going to just do everything he can to help this team win the game.
If that doesn't energize your Knick Nation, so we have the missing piece to the puzzle, having finally a point guard. Juby, this video, if it doesn't tell you something about Brunson's heart, but I think I had somebody from Mississippi commented me on one of my videos on podcasts that I had. He says, I'm from Mississippi. You have to show me. It's a show me state, right? So I understand that. He's going to have to show Knick Nation what he's really made of. Okay, he did it in Dallas. Fine. Can you do it in the big city, in the Big Apple? What do you think, Juby? Can Brunson be the type of player that he was in Dallas?
I think he can. I think he's been around for a long time. Like you heard him say, you guys know his pops used to play for the Knicks. So he's been around players like Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell. He's been around Madison Square Garden. Another interviews they had him was on the court saying it's like he never left. And he said it that he's hungry, and that besides the fact that family was important for him picking the Knicks, he said that the players that's on this team right now, they're hungry, that everybody's they're dogs, and that was what was intriguing for him choosing to come here.
Yes, a great point. And Danny makes another great point. Danny's on fire today. He's on fire like the flags behind me. They're going to use all the picks, but they can package them to move up in the draft. We can get stars that way. Look at Zion. They were putting up numbers and taking it up. I agree. Listen, if we have to build to the draft and walk away from the deal, let's do it. I think with Brunson running the ship here, we finally know where the ship is going. We have a captain taking the ship to the promised land. Mr. Day, you said it best. Look, we draw the line in the sand, and like Mr. Day says, when you come, they're on their rookie deals. I agree. But who said something here that Epic Rican? Welcome, Epic. It's time to call Danny's bluff. I agree, Epic. Welcome, my Rican brother. It's time to call Danny's bluff. Close the door. He can ride with Mitch into the season. Look. Epic. That's an epic statement, brother. But Knicks Nation, desperate for a championship. And I know that we want to win. We want to win yesterday. We haven't won in 50 years. I understand that. But are you going to let Danny Ainge take advantage of us? No way. You draw the line in the sand. You move forward because Leon Rose has built something dynamic here. Dynamic. Let him continue to build. Thank you, Epic. Appreciate you, brother. So, Mr. Day was here. Well, I skipped a couple of spaces. Okay, we said that. When they're on their rookie deals. No, we understood. We understood there, Mr. Day. Appreciate that. Mr. Taz, Brunson plays like a pizza slicer. Look, I mentioned this in my other show. He looks like he's clumsy, like he can trip on his own feet. You know, that type of player. But he fools a lot of people. You saw the moves he was making on people, Juby. So, yes, he is slicing and dicing through the lane, and that's what Thibodeau loves, a guard, a point guard who can take it to the hoop. And shooting 50%, doing that. What do you think, Juby? You think that Jalen Brunson is the guy to run the point for New York? Is he the right person for the job?
Yeah, 100%. I think he's ready. I think he was built for this. And I think it's only going to get better with him at the point guard. He's going to make players around him better. He's going to make himself better. We're just missing a couple of key shooters that we can side with our mid-level exception if we stand pat. And I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be good.
All right. Hey, Barry, I wasn't referring to you, Zen. I meant the mainstream. Yeah, no, I didn't take it as to me. I just felt like a lot of people, I was just thinking only yourself, but other people are bashing me because they think that, look, I'm defending Leon Rose, but there's a lot of sports haters out there. They think that the Knicks should be right. If we let the sports writer run this team, Juby, if we let the sports writers run this team, listen, we're back to the Scott Layton days again. We're back to the Isaiah Thomas days again. So Barry, no, there's no offense. I take, even if it was critical, I don't take criticism I take it in a positive light, man, brothers. I appreciate Barry coming on and just being a part of this program, man. You're great, man. I appreciate you, man. So Juby, he talks about the sports haters out there. Think about the haters. If we follow, like I said, the sports writers and the haters, how this team should rerun, Juby, we'll be waiting for another 50 years. Definitely.
We don't want that.
When is the last time we had a Leon Rose type president running the team? We never had that. We were like a fast food restaurant, like serving burgers of left and right, like fast. You want everything yesterday. You want, the fast-paced type of world. Look, you have to slow it down, and you have to build a foundation in this team. I know we're in NYC, and everybody wants everything yesterday. I understand it. We don't want to wait on lines, We want to do everything quickly. We want to be in front of the line. We want to skip the line if we have to. But Leon Rose is building that foundation, Juby. And Juby, I know we're an hour and 25 minutes in. I know you have to leave in the next 5 minutes or so. I'll continue as much as possible. But let me know when you have to go, brother. I know you have a family to take care of. I appreciate you.
I just want to ask you guys. I want to ask you guys a question. For everybody who's patient and who's willing to trust the process and everything like that, when is it? When do you say when? When that's my curiosity. Is if we don't make no trade, we develop the young guys, we make it to the first round of the playoffs or the play-in tournament, we win one game in the playoffs, it's the next season, we got the same guys, we're gonna say, oh, Obi had a great season, Grimes had a great season, he averaged 17 points. But when do we as Knicks fans say enough is enough? Like we want to be the Yankees of basketball. We want to be, you know what I mean? The Giants had their time. Everybody knew when the Giants won their Super Bowls against the Patriots, the Giants were the team in football. Right now, the team in basketball is the Warriors. when are we gonna say it's our time? That's what I would like to know. When do you guys say enough is enough, and we got to do whatever we can do to get there? Because I see everybody relax.
Okay. But Juby, you mentioned the Golden State Warriors. How do you think they built that organization? Do you think they built it by getting a Donovan Mitchell?
By drafting a guy who went right before us. That's what they did. Who was a star and a superstar.
Listen,
let's go
to Golden State. Their drafting was incredible. And then they added some firepower when they brought Kevin Durant into the team. Think about the way that's the way you build a team. You have a good to great team, and then you add more firepower. That's when you get all your draft picks, because your draft picks aren't worth anything, basically.
They drafted Stephen Curry. This is what I'm trying to make you guys understand. Stephen Curry came out. Stephen, you already saw glimpses that he was going to be a superstar. They drafted Klay Thompson. They drafted Draymond Green. And then they added Kevin Durant, a superstar. When does Knick Nation go after a Kevin Durant kind of player to add to our player? That's all I want to know.
Juby,
that's all I'm saying, guys.
We can have this back and forth. I understand where you're coming from. But look at the teams that are building the foundation. Look at Memphis. How did they build this team? How come they have great players? You mentioned it, Curry. Are you saying Ja was this person that carried? No, it's more than Ja. They built this foundation by having the players, and building the team from the ground up. Look at the Boston Celtics. Danny Ainge did a fantastic job there. How did he build it? How does he want to build the Utah Jazz? The same way. So this is something we have to learn from. New York City is a fast-paced city that wants everything yesterday. I understand it. Leon Rhodes is saying, hey, we're going to slow it down. Once we have this building foundation and we can get other star players to come here, we don't have to build it so hard later on. It's just going to start building on its own. It's, building the house. Once you build the foundation correctly, everything else comes easy. But we become impatient. We don't build the foundation correctly, and the house is always rocking and ready to fall. And that's what happened in the last 50 years. I'm not taking it back from the 90s. The 90s is a whole different thing. But besides that, those 50 years, this has been a shaky house at best. But listen, I understand Knicks Nation's impatient. I'm impatient too. I get so impatient. This is what I do, especially when I heard the Obi news. Oh. That's what I felt. I did a little IP on the bag. So look, Knick Nation, give me your opinion. Thank you, Prezi. Yes, Donnie Walsh was the last competent president. I agree. And if Donnie Walsh was against that Carmelo Anthony trade, listen, I'm not saying that Carmelo Anthony trade was a bad trade. Now, if we're analyzing it was. But when you can get a superstar like a Carmelo Anthony, that's a whole different story. They gave up too much. And that wasn't Walsh's dealing. Dolan pushed that trade. If Dolan has a lot to do with this foundation being shaky. So that's a great comment on your end, Prezi. Appreciate you, brother. Big task at hand, but my friend, it's not about saying when. It's about finally saying no. Yes, big task. The Knicks are finally not doing anything stupid, and we are at risk of going back to the dark ages. Okay. Well said, big task. Well said. Mr. Day. When the price is 6 or 7 rounders and 3 guys we use first rounders to get, why would we basically give 9 or 10 first rounds? Are they giving up prime match? That's what I've been saying, Mr. Day. I've been saying it's not MJ, it's not LeBron, it's not Magic, it's not Bird, it's not Kareem. I'll even go back. It's not Julius Erving, Dr. J. Former Net, became a Sixer, took him to the championship games. Look, he's not that type of player, unfortunately. If he was, they would have gone to the Western Conference Final. He can only get you so far, Juby. Knick Nation, I don't want to put this at Juby, but he can only get you so far. Can he become a superstar with the Knicks? Absolutely. Do you take a chance? Absolutely, but not at the expense of giving up our youth and giving up all these assets. Danny Ainge is an assassin. He feels you out. It's Scott Layden, Isaiah Thomas, even a Scott Perry, if he was running this organization, This trade would have been done a week and a half ago. Hold on. Draw that line. So, Nick Nation, Juby, Prezi, Mr. Day, thank you. Prezi the boss, this is the time because we're actually following the real rebuild process. Prezi, yes, we need to be patient because we're never patient. I agree. NYC, wanting everything yesterday. If we get spotted, this makes us incredible. Yes, it will make us credible. And it'll make Leon Rose, yes, we're going to give up probably 6 first rounders, maybe a 7, and a few second rounders. But you don't give up your major core. And I think your core you're talking about is Obi, Quickly, and Grimes. So one of those 3 have to go, but it won't be Obi. And if I had a choice, it's not going to be Grimes. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be Quickly. And it's going to have to be a McBride. It's going to have to be a Fournier and a Cam involved in that trade. But to give up Obi, Quickly, Grimes is ridiculous. And then giving up 6, 7 first rounders. Nick Nation, I know we want to win. And Leon Rose, I trust. Let the man build this team. He's been doing a great job for the last 2.5 years. Let him be. Let him be. Thank you, Prezi. Barry, Golden State lives beyond the cap, the threshold that we're afraid to cross. Yeah, that has, Brock Aller is here for a reason. And they can do that. They can afford doing that. So many championships. You can afford to do that. We're not there yet. And I agree with you, Barry. Golden State has that luxury. We're still in the baby steps phase right now. So, Barry, I agree with you, man. You well said. Golden State does that because they can afford to do it. Can Dolan afford it? Yes, but he got Brock Aller here kind of controlling the situation. So, Barry, great take on your end. Impatient Cat, you're arguing against yourself. The Warriors were built through the draft. Yes, they added KD at one point, but they won before they were there, and after they left, clearly the draft was there. Yeah, Mr. Day, it was. It was. Yeah. Impatient Cat, yeah. You would say make it plural. Impatient cats. Yeah. And I was one of those cats at one time. But when Leon Rose came to town, I knew this guy, he's like, he meant business. And Juby, you're staring in the dark there. You're confused. I think we convinced you.
Listen, guys. I just want to be relevant again. That's basically it. I want us to succeed. I want to have a team that we can all sit there and tell everybody, like Julius Randle said 2 seasons ago, we're here with confidence, not a fluke, not a bubble season. I want us to be like, when people talk about us, I want ESPN to stop trashing the Knicks. This is what I want to see. And like I said, the long-term goal is to see us win a chip, to actually go down to Manhattan and actually watch the parade and say, I finally see it. I did it with the Yankees. I did it with the Giants. I was alive for the Mets, but that's another story. Not a Mets fan, but, that's from New York. But I would love to see, did the Rangers too. Would love to see the Knicks, hopefully in my lifetime, win a championship. That's all I'm saying. Whether that's with Donovan Mitchell, whether that's without Donovan Mitchell, guys, we deserve that. Nick Nation deserves that. And I'm going to end it on that one, guys. I appreciate all the comments, all the constructive criticisms tonight. And I apologize if you guys think I was impatient. It's just so many years of frustration. So many years of frustration. When you hear a name like Donovan Mitchell, it kind of gets you excited because you want us to be the talk. You want that kind of atmosphere at the Garden. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with what team that we got, even if we don't get Donovan Mitchell. And with that said, guys, enjoy your evening. Be safe. Appreciate everybody here. Thank you, Zenray. And as always, family above everything, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Juby.
Later, guys.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Juby doesn't have to apologize for anything. This is his opinion, man. I know he's a die-hard Knick fan. He doesn't have to apologize. I won't even accept his apology because it doesn't have to. It's all in good fun. I know everybody has their way of thinking and how this Knick team should be built. But I think we found a gem in Leon Rose, and I think Leon Rose is the guy to run this team. We have to be patient and let him do his job. And I think the speculations of Obi and giving up the youth is ridiculous. And I think that's what has, the media has us stirring the pot and making us all in this impatient mode. Oh, we want Donovan Mitchell. We want Donovan Mitchell. Yes, we're going to get him, but under Leon Rose's term. Rican, if you want the Yankees, you have to build. I have been a fan since '84, and it's been 30 years, up and downs, cursed by Riley the last 3 years. I finally see some sort of compensation. Yes, with Leon Rose, you see that. You see like a blueprint. You see a foundation being built. You're saying, wow, this house is starting to look pretty cool. Thank you, Epic. I appreciate you, brother. Prezi, Dolan messed it up. We could have had an all-star and Deron Williams. I remember that with Melo. Imagine if that trade happened, even though Deron Williams got injured, I think a couple of years later, and he was out of basketball. But yeah, for those 2 years, the Knicks team would have been fantastic. Imagine if that trade didn't happen, we would have won the chip, but we would have done some damage. Yeah, we definitely would have done some damage. I remember that. I remember that clearly, like it was yesterday. Thank you, Prezi. Kerry Cooper, when Danny stops playing 3 cards, Monty, then maybe we can make a deal. Kerry, I agree. Thank you, brother. Epic weekend, the Checkets and Raleigh war gave birth to Dolan, and this is where, yeah. And remember, Raleigh at one point walked away from the Knicks, and that's why he's always been zinging it to the Knicks. He wanted Dolan to give him a percentage of the team, to run the team, and a percentage. I don't know what the percentage was, but Nick Nation, would you give him Pat Riley a percentage? I would have. Why not? You're telling me all this money you have, you couldn't give him a certain percentage to the team? I don't know what he was asking for. If it was something ridiculous, probably could have been negotiated. But imagine Riley being the president, GM on the team. This Knicks team would have been much, much different. This team would have savvy Pat Riley. Look at what he built in Miami. He had nothing when he went there. So think about him being in New York. So that war was brewing a long time ago between Dolan and Riley. And ever since, Riley's been zinging us for many years. Barry Neal, if he doesn't take Grimes, McBride, Rose, and Fournier and 6 picks, I say tap out. Nah. I mean, I wouldn't say tap out. Tap out is like, MMA and you're getting pinned. Leon Rose is not getting pinned. But I understand what you're saying, Barry. He's not getting pinned. But this is just going to happen to Danny Ainge and the naysayers. No tapping out here. IP man. Nick the Buck. NYC. Danny Ainge? Come. Back up. Nick Nation. This is the beatdown the naysayers are going to get. These are this is the beatdown that the negative haters, the news media against the Knicks, ESPN. You think Leon Rose cares what ESPN says? Does he care what Stephen A. Smith says about the Knicks? No, he's not being intimidated. He's going to throw blows until we get this Knicks team back on the map and get to the Eastern Conference Finals and win that championship. And that will and could happen in the next 2 to 4 years, depending on what happens with this deal. Knicks Nation, look, it's time to stand up and fight, man. We're not going to be pushovers. We're not going to give every player on the team that we've built for the last 2.5 years with Leon Rose and give up all our assets because we want Donovan Mitchell. He's a hometown product. Yes, we all know that. But Danny Ainge has a price, and those picks are so valuable for him. Nick Nation, give me your opinion. I appreciate you guys being on. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate you. Our draft luck has been bad for years, and if we ain't drafting the top 5 or getting the first pick, we will be drafting role players from here to eternity. I'm tired of living in the draft, just being mediocre. Keith, I understand that. You and Juby are like a twin brothers. I understand where you guys are coming from because you are my brother. You are my band of brothers, Nick Nation. And I understand the frustration. But Keith, and like I mentioned to Juby, how do you give up all these assets? things you've built for the last 2.5 years and just throw it away because of Donovan Mitchell. Think about it. You don't think Leon Rose knows what he's doing? He used to be a negotiator for contracts in CAA. You don't think he knows how to negotiate? You don't think he could smell out a bluff? You don't think he knows what he's doing? I have all the faith in Leon Rose. Remember, CAA, he was an agent. He knew how to negotiate prices. He knows. He's dealt with people like Danny Ainge. And Leon Rose will put him in his place. We will get Donovan Mitchell by our terms, or we'll walk away. And I don't think Danny Ainge is going to walk away. Thank you, Keith. Ep and Rican, F ESPN. It's just a reality show. I agree. F them. I agree. All the naysay haters, Stephen A. Smith, he claims to be a Knicks fan. And I know it's all show. I know he's selling himself. I understand. I know half the things he says he doesn't really mean. Look, it's all show. It's all about ratings. So I understand Stephen A. Smith. I don't have anything against him. I actually like watching him. He's a character, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Epic Rican. Prezi, the boss. If it happens with these two moves, if they happen, that's big F. Yes, Prezi. Getting rid of Randall, forget his mental. Will make us a running gun. We have the chance to be the New York Grizzlies. Think about that. Think about it. We got these young guns, these young horses waiting. It's waiting to be released. And you saw the performance of Grimes. Before we go there, let me show you what Grimes in the Summer League. Congratulations to him coming in second. I know I didn't make a video. I had a lot of things going on. But check this out, guys. Congratulations. The future. The promise. Ooh. Knick Nation, think about what Leon Rose is building here. Think of the plays you saw there. Sims. You have Grimes. You have other players in there like Deuce McBride. You have Hunt, who's impressive. You have Jeffries, who's very impressive. We can't throw these young, youthful horses that's in the stallion waiting for their chance to show what they have. And by giving up all our assets in terms of players and giving up the picks, Leon Rose is not going to play that. Appreciate it, President. That's a good way of looking at New York Grizzlies. I agree. Thank you. It will happen with these two smalls. If they happen, get rid of Randall, forget about Spence. Grizzlies. Yep, I agree, Prezi. Great show, bro. Mr. Day, I appreciate you, man. And my apologies for misunderstanding your comment last week. I was not an intention. I appreciate you and hope you come back again. I know. Thank you. Henry Perez, Randall's not going nowhere. Henry, if that Donovan Mitchell trade happens, he's gone. He's gone. You tell him you're going to hold on to Obi the way they have the intention of having Brunson being the head guy here, and they want no disruption at all. They want no chaos. Randall's gone. That's almost my second guarantee almost. The Lakers want to move Westbrook in his contract. Hello. If they don't get Kyrie Irving, Randall will be in LA. Thank you, Henry. Let's suck it up. No, we don't do that here in NYC. We don't give games away. We don't tank. And we won't suck it up. Leon Rose has a good plan ahead of him. Henry, have more faith in our Knicks, brother. I appreciate you, man. Tricky Nicky, let's talk Knicks. Happy Friday, everyone. Salutes to Zen Ray Sports TV. I salute you, Tricky. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thanks. Barry Neal, I want Spider, but I think it's equally as important to get off Randall. He is an infectious in a negative way. We don't need him. Guys, you saw what I put on before. I mean, I'm gonna put it again, but you need to see this. You need to see this.
Randall, it looked like he got a piece of it. Randall still upset trying to talk to Brett Barnaky.
Julius Randle, strong like bull. Uh-oh. Randle's a strong guy. He pushed Biz.
We can't have that. Barry, you're absolutely right. Who wants to deal with that again? It just brings down the team. Now look at Obi. The smile, the athleticism, the love for the game, helps the players off the ground, doesn't argue on calls, doesn't make a big scene, not a me player type of, I want the ball. He doesn't need the ball. So, Barry, absolutely 100% correct. Obi. Juby, the Tubi, hit that thumbs up, guys. Thank you, Juby. I appreciate you, man. Without you, I am nothing, man. Thank you, Juby. Appreciate you. Keith Turner, just do it. Listen, Keith, I would be afraid you being our GM, man. And this doesn't mean as an insult to you, man. A lot of Knick Nation, including Juby, will pull the trigger on this trade, man. You need to kind of draw a line in the sand. Keith, I understand. We want Donovan Mitchell. We will get him on our terms. And if not, we'll walk away. We'll build with the youth. You don't think Leon Rose has been doing a dynamic job the last couple of years? And now you brought Brunson, who's going to be, the main point guard to drive the ship to the promised land? I have a lot of faith in Leon Rose. Keith, I'll continue to disagree with you, but I respect you, brother. I respect your opinion. Thank you, brother. Epic Rican. At one time, the Patriots was a laughing stock. Just saying so. The Warriors, keep your heads up. I agree. Epic Rican, my Rican brother. Listen, that's some wisdom there, Knick Nation. That's some wisdom. Thank you, Epic. Big task at hand. That's my guy, Sims, a.k.a. Colossal. Yes, Sims. What a monster that guy's going to be. And he's going to be the second year coming up this year. Oof. And coming off the bench as your third center. So if any foul trouble situations, Sims will come in and clean up. Listen, Obi and him, that athleticism. I throw 3 players in there. Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, and Sims. Jericho Sims. The athleticism in these guys. Wow. Special. It's special when you have that type of hops and you have it and you can electrify the crowd. This is why we have to build with the youth. Thank you, Big Tass. Randall. Listen, a lot of Knick Nation wants to get this Donovan Mitchell trade just to get Randall out of here. And let's see what happens. Randall will be out, ladies and gentlemen. He won't be here if Obi's staying. Obi needs to be let loose. Thank you, Big Tass. Tricky Nicky, I don't care about Randall anymore as a player, as a person. Hopefully he gets it together. Just most likely one won't be in New York. He seems jealous of Barrett doing well last year, and we don't need that. No, I agree, man. Look, when you see a teammate of yours not picking up all teammates on the floor, distracting the team and kind of just going off on your own warpath and just not being accountable and thinking that you're this LeBron James, Kobe type of player, it's all in your mind. It's all mindset, man, and anything else, man. And that's why meditation for me is so important. It's all about mindset, man. It's about kind of leveling off and balance yourself. And listen, I wish the best for Julius Randle, man. If he's here, we're going to have to deal with that. And hopefully Thibodeau can handle him a little better. But if not, man, I can see him being in LA and doing a good job for them. Listen, he's still a 2010 guy. Imagine if he gets his head on straight. He can be a freaking 25-15 guy. Think about it. Thank you, Tricky. I appreciate you, brother. Prezi, the boss, RJ, and Brunson, co-captains. I can see that. Definitely RJ. Brunson? Yeah, I can see Brunson and RJ. Yeah, I can see that. Prezi. Thank you. At Prezi, I can see that. Yes, I can see it as well. I can see that as well. Think about this youthful team. Going where they're going. Knick Nation, we need to be proud of this Knick team. And I just want to thank everyone who's been on tonight giving your comments. I mean, I appreciate you, Epic Rican, Big Task, Tricky, Nikki, Keith Turner, Juby the Tubi, man. You guys are fantastic for coming on. Henry Perez, Mr. Day, once again, I apologize for last week, but I won't apologize no more, but I know it's all good. Epic Rican, once again, Keith Turner, Kerry Cooper, Barry Neal especially, man. You were big tonight, Barry Neal. Prezi, the boss. You're always the boss around here, brother. Don, listen, you guys were fantastic. Angel Blue, you guys were great. Frank was hitting it on as well. Guys, I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate you guys. If you like what you see, thumbs up, subscribe. If you know other people who like the Knicks, share my content. Let them decide for themselves. And for all Knicksers, media, people think that Obi Toppin is going on the trade.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit.
Yes, no one wants to hear that BS. And I just want to say, Knick Nation, look, never give up. Never give up, knowing that the best is yet to come. With love, peace, and gratitude. Knick Nation, my band of brothers, thank you. I'm surely grateful. Zen Ray out.
Never give up. Never give up. Knowing that the best is yet to come with love, peace, and gratitude.